Morning all, and this is your last maths lesson of this lockdown. Well done, you've made it. I'm very impressed and I've been so pleased with all the work that I've been seeing off you all. So really big thumbs up, big well done to all of you. Right, so the last lesson this week is moving on to looking at triangles and understanding the different triangles and understanding the different properties that they have. So I'm going to share my screen with you, not that way. And I'm still all the way to the end, keep doing things right. Hopefully you can see my screen now. So we are going to start by doing the date and volt. So if you need to, you can just pause this slide for me and then you can do your date and volt. So you can name the 4 different types of triangles today and the properties, and you can use these to explain the difference between the different types of triangles. Now again, this is a revision, but we haven't done it since the autumn term, so I really do need to go back over it with you. Right, moving on then. Hopefully you've got that. If you haven't, quickly just pause it, that's fine. Right, you might need to, depending on where I am on your screen, you might need to move me around. So your Fiverr day today is to see if you can name these quadrilaterals from yesterday, to see if you've remembered the things that I taught you. So pause it, and then in your book, I just want you to write the 5 names. And when you come back on, you'll see the answers. Right, well done. You can see rectangle or oblong. How many did you get right? 5? I hope so. So let's do this then. So a polygon, we've learnt, is a closed 2D shape with straight sides. All right, so which one of these would be polygons and which ones wouldn't? Can you sort them? Pause it. Right, okay. So a 2D shape could be regular or irregular with straight sides. Okay, oops, let's just go back. So this one here, its sides aren't straight. This one here, it's not joined. It's not a closed shape. This hasn't got straight sides. Neither has this one. Neither has this one. So you're looking at this one, here, here, and here for your polygons. The rest aren't. So let's have a look. What should we know? A something angle is smaller than a something angle. So you could say a right angle is smaller than an obtuse angle. What else could you say? Write it down if you want to by pausing. Right, what did you say? An acute angle is smaller than a right angle. A right angle is smaller than an obtuse angle. All right, well done. I say it. You say it. We all say it. Now, there are 3 types of triangles here. All right, and we can learn them by talking about their sides and their angles. So that's what we're going to do today. So looking at the first one, this is the one that you always think of when you think of a triangle. It's an equilateral triangle. Then we've got an isosceles and we've got a scalene. Now, I know that the right angle triangle is not on there, but we will talk about that a bit further down the line. So an equilateral triangle then, what would I fill those blanks in? An equilateral triangle has what? Can you hear that word? Equal, equal, equal. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does it tell you about the triangle? Yeah, it's got 3 equal sides and 3 equal angles. Okay, so if it's going to be an equilateral triangle, it needs those equal properties to it. I say it, Equilateral. Can you say it? Can we all say it together? Equilateral. 3 equal sides, 3 equal angles. So an isosceles triangle then. Have a look at it. How is it different? Well, it's only got 2 equal sides and 2 equal angles. Okay, I say it, isosceles. Can you say it? Of course you can. And we can all say it together. So 2 equal sides and 2 equal angles. So we've gone from 3 down to 2. Right, and then this one is all on its own, a scalene triangle. It has no equal sides, no equal angles. We've gone down to 0. You can see that all the sides are different lengths and therefore all the angles are different sizes. And that's what makes it a scalene. Can you say scalene for me? Excellent, well done. Now, it says here, connect the triangles below to the correct label, but I just want to bring you over here. This is our right-angled triangle. Now, the reason it hasn't put it as a separate one, because a right-angled triangle can also be an isosceles triangle sometimes, not all of the time. Okay, so sometimes it's a right-angled isosceles. Can you see here? We have got a right angle in it. But it's also got, this time, it's got 3 different sides. So it's a right angled triangle, but it's also a what type of triangle? That's right, it's also a scalene triangle. And you can see here, I've got an isosceles triangle with the 2 equal sides, but it's also got a right angle. So as well as it being that isosceles, it's also a right angled triangle. So that's why we talk about scalene, isosceles and equilateral. And then sometimes we've got that added extra of the right angle in there. Okay. So I've just talked about that because I didn't want you to get confused on the previous slides. So which types of triangle can be right angled? So I've just talked about that. So we've said that we can have a scalene triangle and we can have an isosceles triangle. Oops. Why don't you think we can have an equilateral triangle? That's right, because all the sides are equal. If all the sides are equal, then we can't have, if all the sides are equal, we can't have a right angle in there. So it can't be an equilateral triangle. So I'm going to draw freehand, so you have to bear with me. I'm going to go for that triangle there. What do you think that triangle is? Did you get it? Did you say isosceles? Did you say right angle? Did you say right angled isosceles? Because you would be right on any of those answers. What about this one? Three, two, one. Fantastic. Scalene, yes. Right. What about that one? Did you say scalene? You'd be right. Did you say right angled? You would be right. Excellent. Very good at this. What about this one? Might not be perfect, but hopefully. Did you say equilateral? I hope you did. So for today's work then, you need to know the words isosceles, scalene, equilateral, right angle. You also need to know that an isosceles triangle has 2 equal sides and 2 equal angles. You need to know that the equilateral triangle has 3 equal sides and 3 equal angles, and that the scalene has got no equal sides and no equal angles. Now your worksheets today are on Seesaw, and I'm just going to show you what you need to do. But I can't find it. I think it's in another. There it is. I've got too many things open. Right, so hopefully you can see here it says all groups to complete. So it shows you over here different types of triangles, and notice the right angle says has a right angle can also be scalene or isosceles. So if you wanted to, if you're colouring writing the name of the triangle, you could write that it's a right angled scalene triangle or a right angled isosceles triangle. So all of you need to do this worksheet here where you're naming those 8 triangles for me. It's not going to go page down. Then all groups to complete these questions here. So complete the stem sentences, then write the correct labels. So there's a word bank here to help you. Then you have to label those. That's what it means. So fill in the words on here. You could use a text box over the top of the worksheet. And then again down here, label the different triangles. This one, you could colour them in. You could still do it on the worksheet. You could still do it on the app. You just get the pen tool and colour in the triangles, or you could just write the letter over the top. So you've got to colour them. Equilateral triangles in blue, isosceles triangles in green, and the scalene triangles in yellow. All right, I'm just reading it out for you just so that some of you who might struggle to read on your own understand. Now I've put some little text boxes on this one, pentagons and hexagons. This is for you. It says, can you add a text box to the template and draw it? Is it true? So you need to try and solve that. You need to prove to me. Then true or false. It says you could do this on a piece of paper and take a photograph. All right, you might be able to add it up. So actually try doing it. Convince me. A triangle with a right angle can be scalene or isosceles. So draw triangles, to prove whether this can be true or not. Try adding a text box with your answers. And then which is the odd one out? So you can't just put C, B, A, because I think so. I want a sentence to explain why. So if you put A is the odd one out because B and C are this. B is the odd one out because, or C is the odd one out because A and B are this type of triangle because they have, but explain why they're that. So if you wanted to say that these two are isosceles triangles, but this one isn't, can you say why that's not an isosceles triangle? So you're expanding that maths a little bit more. So well done over the last 8 weeks. You've been absolutely brilliant, and I can't wait to see you back in school on Monday. All right, so take care. Good luck with today's work, and I look forward to seeing how you've got on. All right, bye-bye.